Headline sponsored by Ram Trucks built to serve. Windy City Optimism. Bears are the most bet-on team to go over their win total, according to FoxSports.com.
Well done. Good synergy.
Now, they won 7 games last year with Justin Fields and Tyson Bagent. Ended the year 4-2. So do you think the hype around Chicago is too high or just right?
I don't know that it's high enough.
Oh?
I think that all of the points Brew likes to make about the Jets, winning 7 games with bad quarterback play, applies to the Bears, except they also added Rome Odunze. They also added, late in the season, you saw the addition of it, a young in his prime Montez Sweat. They also added a star quarterback who's 20 years younger than Aaron Rodgers, not coming off a torn Achilles. And so for all those reasons, you have real reason to believe not only can this team go over 9 or 8.5 wins, that this team should make the playoffs and could be a very dangerous playoff team.
What? Good. That was good.
We're not. What do you mean?
That was good. I thought you were going to,
Well, I'm surveying.
I thought he went a little too far and should make the playoffs.
Okay.
No,
they got
he
a
was buying
chance to
drinks?
make the playoffs. They got a chance to make the playoffs. I think it's a little high. And you're right. I actually wrote that down. As I was looking through, why to believe in them, because they do have a lot going for them.
There are some Jets.
It was like they're like the Jets,
yeah,
right?
Except that,
but
with a real coaching staff and a quarterback that's...
Oh, really? That coaching staff is great?
I don't think it's a bad coaching staff. I don't
know what it is.
But,
we'll see. I mean, they haven't been great so far to me. But I think it's too much, because I do think Caleb is going to have some rookie struggles. I think he's going to eventually be great, but I think he's going to have some rookie struggles. Because I just think most rookies do. I don't think C.J. Stroud is the norm. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been the most, and I'm not even trying to, but the most hyped quarterback, in a decade, and he still, 3 years in, we're not sure if he's going to be great. He's good. We're not sure if he's going to be great. So I think that's more the norm than, CJ. But also the expectations. You're not the only one. You're one of the highest ones from the rooftop shouting about the Bears. But a lot of people are excited about them. So the expectations are high. They're not going to roll in there and people take them like, oh, they got a rookie quarterback. They're going to get people's best shot, because a lot of people. And the division. Like, they got 2 very, very good teams in that division. They could easily finish.
I don't know that the Packers are a very, very good team.
I think they.
The Packers won 2 more games than the Bears last year.
We have more evidence that the Packers are very good than the Bears. That's for darn sure.
I don't think, to be fair, I don't think we have evidence that either one of them are very good. I don't. I think
what the Packers did as the youngest team to make the playoffs in decades to the Cowboys at home?
The Packers were a good-ish team last year that had an absolutely triple plus playoff game.
They're young though, Nick, and they're going to get better.
Of course, but I think that's kind of how I feel about Chicago. They're young and they're going to get better. But I want go ahead, Wiles. I'm sorry. You were going to show something or do something. I saw you.
You got a graphic or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bears defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. So maybe Caleb doesn't have to do it all. Last 8 games.
Once they got Sweat, that's the key.
Oh, we're putting all the stock in those last 8 games, but not Jordan Love's last 8.
No.
I'll take. When they play the Chiefs?
The Packers played the Chiefs. We were in LA. It was second half of the year. It was when they started turning.
So they turned around.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, but they're first in points allowed. Like, that's pretty good. So Caleb doesn't have to come in here like the world on fire.
They have
kind of take
they look
it easy
good on paper.
And here's the other thing: the NFL gave them the reverse Caitlin Clark. They gave them the easy schedule to start, hard to end.
Third easiest overall, according to Warren Sharp.
And so if we can show that
if he struggles early, that's good.
Right, and he, by the time you play your first divisional game, is week 11. But so you can, it's really odd to have all 6 of your divisional games to be in your final 8 games.
Early on.
But it is so you can kind of get your feet wet, get rolling. There'll be bear claws everywhere. People are going to love them on Hard Knocks. I mean, I think the Bears are going to be 6-3.
Welcome back to the show. Leaving Las Vegas is not just the saddest day circled on Nick Wright's planning calendar. It's also the speculation about Davante Adams' future. Davante sat down with Shannon Sharp and said this: "I'm locked in with the Raiders, and I really feel good about this team. And as far as I know, they feel good about me." He continues, if I'm going to be reunited with anybody, it would be Aaron. Are the Jets real contenders if they got Davante, bro?
Well, first of all, Davante Adams is a true professional. I mean, I'll give him credit. I may be too professional because if I wouldn't blame him for asking out of there. All right, but good comment by him. But I'll say this. Now, I said last segment, and you guys know it. You're with me every day. I'm nuanced. Yeah, all right, so here's where I'm at on the Jets. If they were to get Davante Adams, all right, they are better, and I would call them like a second-tier Super Bowl contender. I think that obviously the Chiefs would be better, the Ravens, maybe the Bengals. But I put them right down below and give them I think they'd be really good. Here's why I will not go as far as Super Bowl contender. You guys know I've said this since I've been on this show. Aaron Rodgers in the championship games. Yes, we are. Wow. Because they might be rolling. They could win 12 games. How many they win as MVP years the last few years? Yeah. 13 games in those. And they get to the conference championship game. And look at the numbers for Aaron Rodgers. 1-4, win percentage, obviously 20%. The key numbers here, though, are the TD to interceptions, the ratio, and the passer rating. Aaron Rodgers' claim to fame as an all-time great quarterback is he doesn't throw interceptions. Why all of a sudden, in the conference championship games, are you throwing interceptions all the time? 9-8, that tells me that's mental. There's something wrong. And even Nick, and you remember this, the one conference championship game he won. Because a lot of people will say, well, the defense sometimes let him down. They did occasionally. But the game he won when they won the Super Bowl, he had no touchdowns against Chicago and 2 interceptions. The team did it without him, essentially. All right, so I'm saying I think they'd be really good with Davante Adams. I think they got to go for it. But if they get to the championship game and they were facing KC or Baltimore or something, I'm not betting on Aaron Rodgers to overcome.
So hold on, if that's how you, I agree with that in large part. I also just don't think you can have a bottom 5 coaching staff and be a Super Bowl contender. I don't
bottom 5,
but
coaching staff. Yes,
that's just your opinion. Though a lot of people don't have them in the bottom 5.
Well, where do you think people have their offensive coaching staff? You think anyone has it not bottom 5?
Bottom 5?
You think their own people in the building tried to replace the OC? As far as
at the same time, I don't know.
You can limit.
If you're talking about bottom 5 decision makers,
they can limit Hackett, and they clearly are going to limit Hackett's
we'll see. I think having your going into the season plan be we're gonna minimize the damage done by the offensive coordinator. Is a problem. While I am not really, their quarterback wins are not irrelevant, but I don't look at quarterback wins as a stat. I do look at coaching wins as a stat. And by that stat, Robert Saleh wins 35% of his games. And again, Brew, and they don't beat playoff teams. I don't know how else to.
They beat 3 of them.
We can show you the record. You're right, Brew, but that's since in their career,
they're not supposed to be playoff teams.
If you're going to be a contender,
when Zach,
no, I understand.
They got a different team.
I get it, but you guys were asking me why I think they have a bottom 5 coaching staff. Those are my data points for that. Okay. We don't trust their offensive coordinator. Their coach has, in the last 25 years, the 10th worst record of any coach across the NFL who's been given 50
Every
games.
Jets coach
so
is in there.
there's all those reasons that, and they get fired, man. Adam Gase won 7 games
if they don't
with
do
bad
well
quarterback
this year,
play and got fired. Todd Bowles won 10 games and then won 4, 5, 6 games with bad quarterback play and got fired. Those guys get fired.
And he will if they don't win.
But the part that I don't understand, so that's where I stand on the Jets. I'm surprised if you don't believe that even if everyone's healthy and everything's rolling, that they have the quarterback to get to the Super Bowl, then why you would think it would be smart for them to trade future draft assets for Davante Adams?
They think they've got the quarterback to get them to the Super Bowl. They feel that way. All right. They haven't looked at those. They don't put as much account into those NFC title numbers as I do. All right. But look, Aaron Rodgers has won a Super Bowl. Whatever the NFC title game stats show, he has won a Super Bowl. He is an all-time great quarterback. I could be wrong. I'm just saying I'm looking at what he's done in these games, and I'm saying if they get to that big one, I think he's going to struggle. Yeah. All right? But the Jets don't feel that way. Nick, they are all in. That's the thing. Like, it's not – forget the 2-year plan. Obviously, the 5-year plan, they have to go for it now.
So here's the thing. I don't think they are necessarily all in the way you guys are saying. They haven't, this year they did, they have both of their starting tackles, right? Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses, they brought them both in. What did they use their first-round pick on? A tackle. Because that's long-term, that's smart,
it's also
it's insurance for right now. Yeah. They haven't traded, except for Aaron, a bunch of future picks for down the road. They haven't signed guys to absurd contracts. They have